Hi, this is Claire from My Mature Student Life. This is the second episode. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is probably the most important subject we could talk about as mature students going back to university, and it's finances. Okay, as a mature students, we don't have the luxury of being able to go without any commitments, because we have commitments. We've got families, we've probably got houses, we've had jobs, we might have debts. So deciding to go back to university is a really, really important decision, but it will take a lot of planning. I am 3 years into a 10-year plan, and I've only just gone back to university. So it's taken us as a family that long to position ourselves in a place where we could do that. So I suppose the first thing I wanted to say was it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. For me, it did anyway. I wasn't in a position, and we weren't in a position as a family where I could just go to university whenever I chose. It took a bit of getting there. One of the things that I did want to say though before we get into this is deciding to go back to university and deciding to invest into your education is the best thing you could do for your future. Not only because I believe in education, I believe that good education provides people with freedom, but I also believe in the evidence, and the evidence tells us that as a graduate you will earn more, and your likelihood of being employed in a high level position is significantly increased just by being a graduate. And it also teaches us so much about ourselves that the discipline that being a graduate brings, or studying brings, is a real journey, and I think that's a really important thing that we do with our lives. But one of the mistakes that I made that I wanted to share with you was believing that I could have it all. So I believed that it was possible to keep my job, work full time, and do everything. And obviously that's not the case. So in my first year of my 10-year plan, I decided to go back to work full time. I knew I wanted to go to university, and I didn't have enough points to get in. I'd had a really good career, got a great CV, but I just didn't have the points. I'd got loads of professional qualifications, but I needed to do something about that. So I went back to work full time and tried to do my A-levels on a night myself, and I didn't do very well, as you can imagine. It wasn't the right decision, and it was a really harsh lesson to learn that I couldn't do everything and I couldn't have it all, and something was gonna have to give. And ultimately, at the end of that year, I did it, and I did my AS levels all myself. So if you need any advice on how to do that, then please feel free to ask, just because it is a very financially savvy decision to make if you need to make that. But at the end of that, I had to do a lot of soul searching, and I nearly gave up at the first hurdle, but I decided I had to take the hit, and I wasn't ready to give up my finances. I quite enjoyed my life at that point, but that's a dangerous place to be in, I think. I think when you get comfortable, it's really dangerous, because you can settle, and as we said before, we're not settlers. So at the end of that year, I did take the hit financially, and I gave up everything that I'd worked for in education. And very wisely, I was advised by a few people that by working in the NHS, I could bank shifts. So I decided that was what I was going to do. I've got no interest really in pursuing a career in the NHS, but it gives me the freedom to bank my work, and I can work completely around my studies, and I don't have to think about what I do. I just turn up, do my job, and I can put all my energy into what I'm doing at university, which is what I needed. So if anybody needs any advice on how to do that, because that was quite an achievement in itself, and quite difficult, I have to say, more difficult than I thought, then feel free to ask, and I might do a video on that one. So yeah, a couple of things to learn from my journey, I think, are it's not going to happen straight away. You need to plan, and you also need to be prepared for what it's going to cost you. So it's cost me time away from my friends. I don't see my friends as much as I'd like, and they know that pretty much from September to June they're not going to see me. It's cost me time with my family, weekends, evenings. I don't get to be at birthday parties with my kids. If it lands in a time when it's exam season, then nobody sees me. It's cost me financially, it's cost my children financially as well, but it's also taught us so much as a family. It's taught us to be very savvy about our finances, and it's taught us about what we can actually live on and what we were wasting as well. And I think what we've been through has been incredible, and I've enjoyed it, and I'm still not enjoying it, but I believe that what we're learning about our finances will be the making of us for the future. And you know, go for it. Is what I want to say from this video. Absolutely go for it. If you want to go to university, it is possible, but it will take discipline, it will take sacrifice, and it will take planning. But it is possible. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So once again, feel free to ask any questions. I look forward to your feedback, and thank you very much for watching.